top 10 comic origin story of Spider-Man from the movie Across Spider-Verse. Number 10. Spider-Rex Earth 66. On a prehistoric Earth, the T-Rex Noranosaurman and his lackeys pursued the weakling Pteranodon Tartar. Just as Noranosaurman bit Tartar, both were hit by a meteorite containing alien spiders. When they awoke, the two found that they switched bodies, which now also were clad in colorful costumes. Noranosaurman once more attacked Tartar for the theft of his body, but Tartar fought off Noranosaurman and his lackeys with his new spider powers. Now powerful and confident, Tartar swung away, but the tree branch broke and he fell down, crushing both Noranosaurman and two innocent Dinostanders. Horrified by the result of his recklessness, the amazing Spider-Rex learned the power of responsibility. First appearance, Edge of Spider-Verse, August 2022. Number 9, Scarlet Spider-Earth, 616. Ben Reilly is a genetic clone of Peter Parker, the superhero Spider-Man, who went on to determine his own identity as the Scarlet Spider. Ben was created by Miles Warren, the supervillain known as the Jackal, to torment the hero, and seemingly died in their first encounter. The clone survived and exiled himself for 5 years, only returning to New York after learning that Parker's Aunt May was sick. After making amends with Peter, Ben fought alongside him as the Scarlet Spider. For a brief time, Ben and Peter were tricked by Norman Osborn via Seward Trainer to believe Ben was the real Peter Parker. Peter left New York with his wife, Mary Jane Watson, leaving Ben to pick up the mantle of Spider-Man. During a subsequent confrontation against Osborn as the Green Goblin, Ben was impaled and died in Peter's arms, also discovering that Peter being the clone was a fabrication. Ben was later brought back to life by Miles Warren using a new cloning method, and spent years being constantly killed and resurrected by his creator to improve on the cloning technology. Driven mad, Ben managed to escape and overthrow Warren, becoming the new Jackal. He founded New U Technologies in an ill-conceived attempt to use cloning technology for good, but was ultimately stopped by Spider-Man. Seeking redemption but still mentally unstable, Ben moved to Las Vegas and resumed his identity as the Scarlet Spider. His first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man issue 149 July 1975. Number 8. Spider-Cat. On Earth. 999 Spider-Cat was a house cat and a loyal pet to a group of video game enthusiasts who had gained spider totem powers at some point in his life, which he used to fight crime. He had recurring nightmares about facing a pigeon known as Venom, during which he lost several of his 9 lives, though he would always wake up after winning the fight. During the Great Hunt, he was tracked down by Bora and Brix of the Inheritors. Despite his spider powers, he was no match for Bora, who captured him and mockingly played with him to taunt her brother's attempts to hunt, before consuming his life essence, killing him. It is presumed that Spider-Cat was resurrected after the web of life and destiny was restored, because it was seen among Miguel O'Hara's Spider Society and participated in the chase of Miles Morales. First appearance, Spider Island, I Love New York City, Issue 1, September 2011. Number 7, Spider-Byte. On Earth 22191. In a world where people spend their lives online using virtual reality avatars, a young woman named Margot decided to hack the system and create her own spider-powered avatar to fight crime in cyberspace. Calling herself Spider-Byte, Margot used her programming skills to create cybernetic armor that boosted her strength and speed, magnetic grips on her gloves and boots that allowed her to climb walls, and photonic web shooters that could tangle her enemies in hard light webs. When Ghost Spider recruited her to help fight the Inheritors, Margot was able to manifest her virtual armor outside of cyberspace and use her powers in the physical world. First appearance, Vault of Spiders, issue the 1st of October 2018. Number 6. Indian Spider-Man. On Earth. 50101 Pavitr Prabhakar. A poor Indian boy lived in a village, but moves to Mumbai with his Aunt Maya and Uncle Beam to study after getting half a scholarship. His parents died some years earlier. Other boys at the school teased him and beat him. He knew his Uncle Bim was struggling to support him and his Aunt Maya and pay the school. Only Meera Jane, a girl from school, befriended him. Meanwhile, Nalin Oberoi, a local crime lord, used an amulet to perform an ancient ritual during which he was possessed by a demon committed to opening the gate for other demons to reach to Earth. While being chased by other kids, Paviter encountered an ancient yogi who gave him the power of a spider to fight the evil threatening the world. While discovering his powers, Paviter refused to help a woman being attacked by several men. He left the place, but returned when he heard his uncles cry out, having been stabbed when he tried to help the woman. Thus, Paviter came to understand that with great power comes great responsibility. First appearance Spider-Man, India, Volume 1, Number 5, Spider-Girl on Earth, 982. Mayday Parker is the first child of Peter and Mary Jane Parker in a future, alternate universe. Peter and Mary Jane were reunited with their baby daughter by Kane, who found the child living with Alice in Mongrain, the con artist who had kidnapped the baby on instruction from the Green Goblin. After they were reunited, Peter lost a leg during a horrific battle with the Green Goblin after the battle. Peter was offered a bionic replacement from Mr. Fantastic, and considering it a wake-up call there for years. They chose to keep their past from Mayday and hoped that she wouldn't develop powers of her own like her father, despite her parents' hopes May began developing versions of her father's spider powers. When she was 15 at the same time, Normie Osborn, the Green Goblin's grandson, set out to restore the family name as he saw it. Mayday donned Ben Reilly's spider costume to stop him, but her worried parents burned the costume after May used it to keep her from taking on crime fighting. First appearance What If, issue 105. Number 4. Spider-Punk on Earth 138. Foul-mouthed teenager Hobie Brown became a spider totem after being bitten by a spider irradiated by illegal waste dumping. He proclaimed himself a Spider-Man and began to fight for freedom alongside his new friends Captain Anarchy, Carl Morning Dew, and Hulk, Robbie Banner. As leader of the Spider Army that fought against President Osborn's regime, Brown utilized his free spirit as a radioactive suicide machine to rally support from the lowest classes that the regime was aiming to stamp out in the name of America's strength. When Osborn led his forces, the Thunderbolt Department, in the use of the Venom, Spider-Man used 15,000 volts of punk rock out of an army of amps to disable the new technologies, then defeated Osborn himself by bashing him over the head with his guitar before Brown unmasked himself to the viewing crowd. First appearance Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, Issue 10, Number 3, Spider 2099. On Earth 928, Spider-Man, his real identity is Miguel O'Hara, a brilliant Irish-Mexican geneticist living in Nueva York, a renamed New York City in the year 2099. He grows up with his mother, Comcata, his younger brother, Gabriel, and his abusive father, George. O'Hara Miguel eventually becomes head of the genetics program of Alchemax. Miguel is specifically inspired by surviving records and hopes to one day he creates a similarly powered person. Miguel accidentally gained Spider-Man ability. Miguel chooses this costume in particular because it is the only clothing he has that is made from unstable molecule fabric, meaning it is the only clothing he owns that will not be torn or shred by the spider talons that now occupy his hands and feet. First appearance Amazing Spider-Man, issue 365. Number 2. Spider-Gwen. On Earth 65. When Stacy grows up in Forest Hills with parents Helen and NYPD Captain George Stacy. When her mother dies, she becomes close with her neighbors Peter Parker and they attend Midtown High School. The latter trio and Gwen form a band called the Mary Janes. The rebellious teen's life changes when she's bitten by an irradiated spider and gains arachnid-like powers. She juggles her newfound powers, keeping them secret from her friends and family, and continues to play drums with the Mary Janes. Gwen also but heads with her dad, who wants her to think more about the future and less about music. Tragedy strikes when Parker, who idolized Spider-Woman, tries to induce a chemical transformation of his own into a lizard. Like being, he loses control and attacks a school dance, dying in Spider-Woman's effort to stop him and died in her hand. She's unfairly blamed for his death and hunted by the law, including her own father, who leads the NYPD investigation to apprehend the killer vigilante. First appearance Edge of Spider-Verse Issue 2. Number 1. Miles Morales. On Earth. 1610, a thief broke into the abandoned Osborn Industries. Unbeknownst to the thief, a spider genetically enhanced with the Oz formula crawled into his bag. Miles Morales, a young kid from Brooklyn, visited his uncle Aaron Davis, which was against his parents' wishes due to his uncle's criminal past, at his uncle's apartment. Miles was bitten by the Oz-enhanced spider, which emerged from Aaron's bag. And Miles, he receives superhuman abilities like camouflage, increased agility, as well as some sort of stunned blast. But Miles reacted negatively as he just wanted to be normal and decided to leave heroism to the actual Spider-Man. Months later, Spider-Man died, saving his family from Osborn. Miles arrived late to the scene, struck with grief, and not helping Peter Parker before his demise. Miles decided to follow Parker's philosophy: with great power comes great responsibility, and so continue Peter's legacy. First appearance, Ultimate Fallout Issue 4.